loves, welcome to my channel where we revamp all things beauty. Today we are doing a lace closure wig. The first thing you want to do is cut off the excess material on your lace closure. Now I'm using a canvas blockhead to make my unit, so it's already pre-measured. I am a 22 inch, so therefore everything fits perfectly. I'll give you the descriptions to how you can size your wigs on my next video if I get enough thumbs up on requests. But here I am tacking it down with some T-pins. Now that all my four corners are tacked down with my T-pins, I can now sew the perimeter really easy. And so I'm just doing small stitches surrounding the perimeter of this lace closure. Here's a quick slow-mo of my stitching technique. I'm doing blanket stitches all the way around the lace closure. Okay, this is how you tie a knot on your thread. You just loop it 3 to 4 times and pull it through, and that's a secure knot. So once I'm done with one side of my lace closure, I move on to my next side just to keep the balance on tension equal, and I pull it down, sewing all the way around. Just make sure that the lace closure lays flush and flat, so you do want to make sure there's tension pulled outwards, and then sew the back. So I'm showing this knot technique twice. Didn't get the first time, you won't get it this time. Loop it 3 to 4 times and just pull it through, and you have a tight, secure knot. Whew. So yes, y'all, we got the first part done. The lace closure is on nice and secure, tacked down nicely. You can take out the T-pins and you will have a nice flat lace closure. So let's begin with our bundles, shall we? So we have our first one. And what I do is I use these T-pins all the dang time. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't use the T-pins, but if you do use the T-pins, you'll notice that it's so much easier. And what I go ahead and do is I tack down my weft, and then I begin stitching wherever it's been tacked down. So here I am doing my stitching, and I make sure I go through the hole first, and then I go ahead and loop it. Now I am doing knots on every stitch just for extra security, but you totally don't have to do that part. Just do a regular stitch and you'll be fine. Yes, we want to fold our wefts. We don't want to cut them because cutting your wefts causes shedding. So I folded it, put my T-pin on the opposite side, and began stitching again. Now I like to dramatically emphasize the fact that as you are sewing and folding these wefts on this band area, do not stitch inside the band, just stitch onto the material itself, because if you stitch on the band, it's not going to stretch, and you want it to stretch. So just sew onto the stretchy material, but not onto the band itself. I'm going to try not to talk so much because it's pretty much visually explanatory, so just watch and enjoy. I must say, this stitch game is pretty proper. So I want to toot my own horn, but toot toot, yes, that stitch game is looking flawless. You hear me? Now I know I said folding the wefts is really good because it reduces shedding, but when I get to the sides here, when I'm almost getting to the top, I like to cut my track so it can lay really flat. This is totally optional. You don't have to cut your wefts, but I do cut my wefts at the top area. Let's talk about hair details while we're observing, shall we? So I used a 12-inch, 14-inch, and 16-inch in the bundles, and a 12-inch lace closure. Now placement is key. I'm going for a bob look, so for that you need to make sure you use the 12-inch at the bottom and the longest on top. So in conclusion, I used my 12-inch first, my 14-inch second, and my 16-inch on the top. Because it's a 4x4 lace closure, it's so small, a 12-inch is easy to get away with, so the length doesn't really matter. Once you've sewn all the wefts in, the cap should look something like this. Now you want to cut off the inside where the lace closure sits. Now she's looking kind of rough. We need to wet her and shape her so she can be good to go. With my razor comb, I'm just cutting off the pieces, giving it a bob look, cutting off the bang as well, just giving it some kind of shape. I'm using 80% water and 20% conditioner. This is some cheap conditioner like Suave or VO5, and I'm just raking it through. If you have used the conditioner and water concoction, you don't need to use the Keep It Curly cream that I have here. All you need to do is add some argan oil and be done. So you get a band from Joann's or any fabric store. They even have it at Walmart as well. And you want to make sure you measure your circumference of your head. I'm a 22-inch, so I'm -4 from that, which will be 18, and then an extra 2 inches so it can stretch, which will be a 16-inch. So my band is a 16-inch in length. With this band, baby, your wig ain't going nowhere. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video.